Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 8th Madison City Council meeting. At this time, I would like to invite Pastor Josh Britt with Courageous Church to please lead us in the invocation, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to gather this evening to discuss various issues, ideas, and God, we pray that you would give wisdom, God, to the council here today as well, that God, for every person that speaks today, God, that, Lord, we would all speak with humility and with kindness and care, both for one another. And Lord, we pray that we invite you in this place, Lord, that we would know that all this would be impossible without you. And we pray you give strength, Lord Jesus. We pray that we remember we're all on the same team. You would bring unity and one mind and one heart, be with the decisions. And Lord, we thank you for this season as we celebrate you coming. Lord, for us, that we may have life and have it more abundantly. And I pray that you do great things this evening. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I have the roll call, please?
Mayor Bartlett.
Here.
Councilmember Robleski.
Here.
Councilmember Beer.
Here.
Councilmember Goodson.
Here.
Councilmember McKay.
Here.
Councilmember Lessman.
Here.
Councilmember White.
Here.
Councilmember Jackson.
Here.
Thank you. We do have a quorum. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
There are no amendments.
Thank you. We'll move into approval of the minutes. The first one up is our regular meeting for November 24th.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion for Mr. Jackson and a second for Mrs. Lessman. Are there any questions? Seeing none, may I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye. Thank you. The minutes are accepted. Our next item is the minutes from the work session dated November 19th. May I have a motion and a second, please?
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion for Mrs. White and a second from Mrs. Lessman. Are there any questions? Seeing none, may I have the vote, please?
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Thank you. The minutes are accepted, and we have one presentation tonight, and I'd like to turn it over to Mrs. Gillespie as she recognizes our Civic Awareness Academy graduates.
Good evening. Tonight we are proud to recognize the graduates of Madison's 4th Civic Awareness Academy. Many of you have been here in this position before, having graduated from either 1, 2, or 3. Over the past several weeks, as you know, these engaged residents have taken a closer look at how our city operates and the services we provide. On behalf of the City of Madison, thank you for your time, your interest, and your commitment to our community. Mayor Bartlett and council members, I now introduce to you our Fall 2025 Civic Awareness graduating class. Jay Allison. Yes, please.
Oh.
Come on up. Josanne Ongst.
I don't think we can.
Philip Benefield. Rebecca Benjamin. Eric Bright. Marsha Christian. Jamal Cummins. Marla Davidson. Jennifer DeLesio. Kristen Dickerson. Diana Fisher. Devin Fountain. Wafa Hakeem Orman. Randall Hampson. Donna Mayhew. Janet Marino. Miles Parmenter. Ed Peters. Kathy Peters. Esther Ramirez Rojas. Sabia Runa. Charity Stratton. Whitney Stringer. Richard Travers. Stephanie Walker. And who Councilwoman Robleski likes to call our valedictorian, her husband, Ron Robleski. Come on up here, let's do a group.
We should be okay back here. They'll be
Yeah.
right now.
I know, I'm short. Kenneth had to stand up. Oh, I know, this is,
What's up, Jay? Congrats, man.
Still hiding.
You did it.
Everybody's trying to crouch.
public comments.
He did say it was well worth his time.
Duck. I don't need to duck.
I was gonna say.
I don't need to duck.
I'm just gonna lean over.
I am not in that picture. I can stand up.
I think these guys got us covered.
Yeah.
Congratulations to our graduates. I believe this was our largest class, and I would just like to take one moment before she runs away to thank Tracy Gillespie. This is a 6-week class. Thank you. Congratulations to all, and please take this information to your friends and neighbors and encourage them to join. It's been a great way for people to see volunteer opportunities and just to understand how your city works for you in a better way. So now we'll take this time to move into public comments, and I do have one public comment card. And I believe the last name is Minks, Maggie Minks, M-I-N-S-K. My apologies if I am mispronouncing your name. Thank you. And just a reminder, everyone has 3 minutes. Please address your comments towards me and state your name, which we know your name, and your district. And appreciate you being here tonight. Yep.
Hi, thank you. Good evening, and it's Minsk. Last week, something happened in another city that captured nationwide attention, and I found myself really, really wishing it was our city. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara stood before the press and said something most police leaders avoid saying out loud, that Minneapolis officers have an absolute duty to intervene when they witness federal agents violating people's rights. He said plainly that if federal officers use unlawful force or harm residents, then his officers must step in, not may, not should, but must, because their oath is to the law and to the people, not to a federal agency violating that law. Their mayor, Jacob Fry, followed with an executive order blocking federal, state, and local agencies from using Minneapolis-owned parking garages, ramps, or lots to stage immigration enforcement operations. He made it clear that the city will not be complicit in actions that undermine trust or erode civic rights. Minneapolis didn't just refuse to assist, they affirmed that their first loyalty is to the people who live there. These two leaders didn't create radical new policies, they simply voiced unapologetically what the job already requires: to protect residents, uphold the Constitution, and intervene when anyone abuses their power. They reminded officers that their oath matters, and they reminded the community that their local government is here to serve them. I'm here to ask the City of Madison to show the same courage. When any federal agency operates in our city, residents need to know that our officers uphold the law, even when the violator carries a federal badge. This isn't defiance, it's integrity. We also need clear leadership from City Hall. People deserve to know whether our mayor, our council, and our police chief will publicly affirm that Madison resources will not be used to stage or assist in things that are unlawful, to create fear. Speaking up helps to provide a sense of safety. A public commitment like the one Minneapolis made would strengthen community trust. As a suggestion, it would show that Madison stands for fairness, safety, and constitutional rights. So I ask respectfully but urgently to make this commitment out loud and to reaffirm that Madison's officers will intervene against anything unlawful, that our city will support the residents, and that our leaders will continue to honor their oaths. This isn't about politics, it's about principle and integrity. And Minneapolis, I feel, modeled leadership rooted in clarity and courage. And I'm hopeful, as a resident here with 3 children, that Madison will join them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Minks. Is there anyone else that would like to address council at this time? Yes, sir.
It's been a long time since I've been here, and spoken at least. Madam Mayor, Honorable Council, my name is DJ Klein, 26109 Madison, Alabama, 35756. I do not live in the city of Madison. I spent the majority of my life in Madison. I graduated from Bob Jones in 2002, returned after serving active duty, attended college here, built my first business here, met my wife at Madison Street Festival. Both my children were born and raised here. Madison has been foundational to my life, my family, and my work, and we continue to support Madison businesses and spend much of our time here. At the November 22nd City Council meeting, inaccurate statements were made regarding my business and my professional conduct. Those statements do not reflect the facts, which I'm here to correct on public record. The claim that I have received $1.9 million in Madison City tax dollars is completely false. I've never been paid by the City of Madison. The recent train crossing project was funded by former City Councilman John Seifert. The city contributed approximately $1,800 in additional equipment. That amount has been invoiced but not collected, nor is that payment my concern. The additional figures cited: $285,000 for City Hall, $412,000 for upgrades, $150,000 for maintenance contract, $620,000 for schools, $98,000 for equipment, $45,000 for the train camera, and $65,000 in COVID funds are inaccurate and misleading. My company, like many small businesses, did receive general COVID relief funding, which went directly to employees' payroll. Beyond that, none of the numbers stated reflect payments from the City of Madison to me or my company. Launch Broadband, LLC, earns the majority of its revenue installing and servicing fiber optic networks for apartment communities throughout the state of Alabama. The suggestion that we are ripping up lawns in Madison is incorrect. We do not possess right-of-way or easement within the City of Madison, and we do not perform construction work in the City of Madison. The statement that I've made easy profit and left dirt behind is also untrue. Building a business over 11 years, employing local residents, and maintaining high standards of work is far from easy. These comments misrepresent the reality of small business ownership and the contributions we've made. The accusations that I've been paid off is defamatory, harmful, and completely baseless. These statements damage my personal reputation, my company's reputation, and the reputation of my employees who work hard every day to serve our customers. Beyond harming individuals, this type of misinformation erodes trust within our community. My involvement in the Madison Train Activation System comes solely from my commitment to public safety and to the community that helped shape my life and my business. Accurate public information matters. When false claims spread, they can cause real harm. My goal is to correct the record today so this community can rely on facts rather than misinformation. I appreciate the opportunity to clarify the record. Thank you for your time. Continued service to the City of Madison.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. Is there anyone else that would like to address comments to council?
Margie Daly, Erica's district. Tonight I'm going to talk about the cost so far for the stadium. And I'm going to list and I'll give you my sources, just like I can give the sources on launch broadband. 2017 to 2018, $46 million plus $2.5 million in interest so far. 2019 to 2022, $25 million on ramps plus $1.5 million in interest. 2020, $4 million in principal, $20K in interest. 2023, outfield building. 2025, $5.1 million principal plus $100K in interest. They also got federal funds directly to Ball Corps at $820,000, which was forgiven through the SBA. That's over $103 million with another 30 years of interest to pay. That's what the city tax dollars. My sources are all government government sources, Madison, AL.gov, agendas, and the city audit from last year. That's where my numbers are coming from. So they're coming from official websites, government websites. Then I'd like to mention about the school lost. Last year, the school lost $2 million. We were under in revenue for the cost of the schools, $2 million. And yes, Launch Broadband did get city tax dollars. Now, they may not go in DJ Klein's pocket, but that's from adding up from all the agendas, every time you guys voted yes on it, that's what he was given. Over 5 years. That was over 5 years. I don't know what his calculation is over 5 years, but his company did get that. He was directly involved with every single tax increase that we've been given, both the sales tax, the going for a city manager was another thing he was involved with. And, you know, we have to, like, stop spending. You know, this thing with the stadium, it's $103 million so far, and that's not counting the rest of the interest, nor did I get all the consultants in there yet. I will get a better number once I get all the consultants. I'm seeking freedom of information, and I'm being denied, or they're coming in with half the information missing. I don't want to sue the city for it, but I'm going to have to because I just keep being ignored. And I'm entitled to the freedom of information. When I come up here and speak, I want to speak facts. I can get so much facts off the websites, but that's the reason I want the freedom of information. So when I come up here, everybody can know that I'm speaking facts. Now, the sources on these were on tonight's stuff.
I'm sorry, can you?
It's all good. John Seifert, District 7, 121 Woodley Road, Mayor, Council, good evening. Come to you to talk about item under legal tonight, where you are debating, or I hope debate, whether or not you enter into a joint lawsuit with the city of Tuscaloosa and other parties against the state for SSUT. I'll just be frank, I hope you vote no on it. From the standpoint of SSUT needs to be reformed. It does. I hope something that's 10 years old needs to change. But from the standpoint of a few items of, most of you guys just learned about SSUT not 5 days ago. To put you in a position now to have to vote on this, where the deadline is 10 December, which is Wednesday, to enter that joint lawsuit, I think is a little premature. I think it's wrong. You guys need more time to study this. I've been studying it for over 12 months. I learned new information Wednesday. So I don't know how y'all can become experts in that time frame to be able to make an affirmative decision to go in that path. Second thing is, just be quite frank, positive outcomes of lawsuits. I don't know anybody that's ever entered a lawsuit and came out of it and goes, geez, that's the best thing I ever did. You build up walls of communication and barriers between you and whoever the lawsuit is, as well as damage the relationships. And the very people that you're suing are the ones you need help from. So come down the road, wherever that decision lies, whether it's in your favor or their favor, you're going to have an open door, ability to go talk to them. It's not going to be exactly that easy. And then the last piece is, by entering in that lawsuit, you're giving your authority to do anything from that to the city of Tuscaloosa, who is leading that lawsuit. And they may tell you, hey, you got a seat at the table. My son's got a seat in my car, but he ain't driving my car. You get a seat at the table, you're not necessarily going to be able to speak. And I and other people voted for this representation. I want y'all to work it. I don't want you to hand it over to somebody else to do it for you. That's your job. When I was sitting in that seat, that was my job. So please, I ask you, look at what you're doing and please do your job, okay? And don't burn bridges, build them. Let's build bridges. We talk about collaboration, we talk about communication, and we talk about working things together. It's a perfect opportunity to build those relationships and collaboration with Montgomery and the parties that be that you need in order to help solve this. So again, I ask you to vote no.
Thank you, Mr. Seifert. Is there anyone else that would like to address council at this time? Seeing none, we'll close public comments and we'll move into the consent agenda. Mr. Beer?
So sorry, I need a copy of the agenda.
Oh,
You want it? Okay.
okay.
Got it. Thank you, Billy. Okay, Finance Committee consent agenda. We've got a number of resolutions. A lot of these are budgeted that comes through, so I'm going to run through these one by one. We've got the annual authorization for the Madison Chamber of Commerce. We also have that for Huntsville-Madison County EMA, as well as NCAC. The appropriation for the Huntsville Hospital Foundation, Madison County Convention, CVB, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and so those are items that we do budget every year that's in the budget, and those are authorizations that are in there. We also have a one-year subscription with WOW for internet provided at 1282 Hughes Road at $75.99 a month. And then we have some additional fiber utility for 101 Main Street, that is the internet that provides downtown Main Street with Wi-Fi access. And then we have agreement with Fiber Utility Network, Alabama Fiber Network for Public Safety Annex. It just opened up. We had that ribbon cutting just recently. And then there was a change to the Capital Improvement Fund on one of our projects for the Public Safety Annex. This isn't an overspending. It was a correction in the change of budget, so that was corrected to the amount of $5.845 million. And then finally, we have an acceptance of a $500 donation for Dads at Palmer Park. We also did review the bill payments that came out, and we had a chance to answer questions on those. So that is the consent agenda, and I move to accept that as it's presented.
May I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion for Mr. Beer and a second for Mr. Goodson. Is there any discussion or questions? Seeing none, may I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Beer,
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson,
Aye.
Council President Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember McKay,
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
The motion passes. The consent agenda is accepted. And now we'll move into presentation of reports, and we'll begin with Mayor Bartlett.
Well, first I'd like to thank all businesses, groups, and individuals who deliver food and snacks to our fire and police stations, particularly during the holidays. I get email reports whenever these donations come, and I know that they are greatly appreciated and that you are thinking of them while they are working for you. I also want to thank State Representative James Lomax and Mayor Walt Maddox for attending last week's work session on SSUT. I know we're going to discuss that in more detail later, but I do appreciate those officials coming here to help us learn more about the issue. Finally, I know there are many holiday events that we all attended. I'm not going to steal your thunder. I want to make sure all of you get to share some of the things that were impactful to you. But I will tell you all that after the Christmas tree lighting last Friday night, I looked up at my husband and I said, man, we live in the best city. And I want to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. District number 2.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, great events. I had an opportunity to go Friday night for the tree lighting. It was great to see so many people out there. I also do want to thank Tracy Gillespie for the Civic Awareness Academy. Had an opportunity to speak with that group a few weeks ago, and it's just amazing the engagement that we get out of that. So, good things there. Now, one of the boards I'm assigned to is TARCOG, Top of Alabama Regional Council of Government. Mayor Bartlett and I had a chance to meet with the Executive Director, CEO Michelle Jordan, a few weeks ago, and there was a whole side of TARCOG that I didn't know about, and that was the elder care. So it's amazing how many things you do learn. They just recently, they're almost done with their construction of their new building. They're moving near their Orion Center. It's pretty incredible building that's going to help a lot of the seniors in the area. They also do have some kind of economic planning that they do as well. But the building is pretty exciting. They sold their previous building for $8 million, and they're coming into this new one for just over that. So they're going to come in debt-free, and what an incredible organization that supports so many in our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beer. Mr. Goodson?
So we last gathered here 2 weeks ago, and since then, it has seemed like a whirlwind. I think all of us will say that I did not realize how much a calendar could get filled. We have had 2 ribbon cuttings downtown, one for the entertainment district, a second one for the fire safety tower, fire training tower that is down there on Celtic. Just what a resource to have local so that our fire and police both can train and gain valuable skills and things down there. It's just absolutely amazing. Then this weekend, from Friday to yesterday, it was jam-packed downtown. One is I want to, highlight just how much was going on downtown and how when we moved here, even in 2016, downtown was maybe waking up. Downtown doesn't sleep. I'm going to tell you, it was packed all weekend with stuff going on. We had, Friday night, the Polar Express Christmas tree lighting, all the great work by the Historic Society and Parks and Recs who put those trees up, and then the people who decorate them and stuff. It just gives such an ambiance to our downtown. It is, I've seen it. I think John Seaford had even told me one time, it's in the top 10 in Instagram in North Alabama or something like that. It is just amazing when you see the number of people that are down there. Then Saturday, the Christmas capers, 14 cases of moon pies flew off of that roof. Walt and Larry, I hope their arms are recovering and their family that was there. And the gifts, it was $3,000, over $3,000 worth of gifts were attached to those chickens that people caught. That's such a phenomenal little thing of Madison. We made AL.com, people talking about it in Birmingham and Mobile. What a thing. And then yesterday, the Roundhouse was open. It was cold. There weren't a lot of people that came through. But after that, we went up to the Madison City Community Orchestra. I looked at the list of people, the artists that participate in that orchestra, and I'm going to tell you, we need a bigger city. That orchestra can blow the doors off. It was phenomenal. They entertained us with their Christmas music. A couple of people that were just key in everything that went on down there. Debbie Overcash with the Historic Society, Parks and Recs putting up the trees. Jen Alessio, one of our graduates from the Civic Engagement and the stuff that's going on with Main Street Madison. I know I decided I was not going to mention all the business owners that just really showed out because I'd forget somebody. Those guys are the investment that they're pouring into their community through their stores, through their work. I'm going to tell you that when we showed up at a lot of events. There are a lot of people that are business people and residents of this city who show up at those same events, and I'm amazed. I'm going to say it's my job to show up. It's not always their job, but man, they are out there putting in the hard work. I'm so appreciative that this city has everything that they have. And then last, so I'll shut up, December the 13th, the Christmas parade. It's going to go from Portal, which is down here, up to Plaza, up close to the library, starting at 5 p.m. We're going to be throwing candy, and I hope to see everybody there. The beauty of living in small town that really punches so far above its weight is phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you. So well said. Mr. McKay?
I got to follow that.
Yes, you do. Good luck.
No, Billy's right. The AL.com article was good, and I had a friend that texted me from Birmingham and said, "What's up with the chickens?" They did get some airtime. The Christmas lighting was awesome. A lot of the same people go set that up, and I thought it was really great. My kids tour around. We did some Christmas shopping. Living in Lavender, shout out to y'all. Tracy, Civic Awareness County, that put me over the edge for running for council. So great class. Hopefully you'll have some more interest to come out of that in the next round too. Looking forward to Recreation Advisory Board meeting this week. Got a McDab meeting this week. Ready to get to work. That's all.
Great. Thank you, sir. Ms. Lessman?
Well, I think everything's been covered. I do want to say congratulations to the Civic Awareness Academy. Thank you so much for your time and learning about our city and, just getting more informed because we like to hear from you. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Mrs. White?
Yes, thank you, everyone. everything's been covered, pretty well, so sorry, Kenneth. But there are a few things going on this week. So the blood drive, Madison Fire and Rescue, they have a blood drive this Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Right next door at 101 Mill. And, right? Right, yes, exactly. And also for the parents who need a babysitter, on the 13th, there's Santa's Day Out at Craig and Stephen Hogan YMCA. So that takes place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you'd like to drop your child off while you go shop, there is an opportunity for you to do so. So that's all.
Fabulous, thank you. Mr. Jackson?
Yes, so I'd like to shout out the volunteers who came and helped the beautification and tree board. Our Adopt a Spot fall cleanup was Saturday. And we got pretty much all of Hardeman Road and Burgreen cleaned. We had about 25 people come out. Special shout out to the Bob Jones Air Force Junior ROTC. They had the majority of the volunteers, so that was awesome. Let's see. Oh, the other announcement I have is Madison City Schools has, relaunched their Supporting Our Students Fund. So this is a resource if you'd like to donate that goes to basic needs, field trip fees, and other costs for local children in need. So please consider that, and that's all for me.
Very good, thank you. Everyone covered everything except the one item. Several of us attended the Alabama legislative session. We were able to hear from our local legislators that represent us in Montgomery as to what some of the items are that are coming next year in the legislative session. A lot to do with mental health and education. So I just wanted to thank them for the time that they spent a week or so ago informing us on this upcoming legislative session. We do have a couple of board and committee appointments. The first one is to Mr. McKay.
Yeah, so can I give comments on him now?
Yes, please.
So yeah, the first one is appointment of Matt Dermody to seat 2 of the Recreation Advisory Board. Matt, are you here tonight? I didn't think I saw him. He's probably watching online. So Matt's going to be an excellent pickup for this board. He's lived in Madison since 1992. He's a Bob Jones graduate. He's a married father of 4, receiving his Juris Doctor from the Birmingham School of Law. I met Matt back when our oldest kids were both playing T-ball over at Palmer Park. He's got 4 kids, like I said. He's volunteering began in 2015 with AYSO. He's not only coached soccer and T-ball here in the city, but basketball, flag football, baseball, and travel baseball, which means he spent time at all of our fields a lot. And I know he's been at other fields around the county, the state, the region. I know he did the Ripken Experience in Pigeon Forge back in May, so he's seen some of the best quality parks and recs and fields that the Southeast has to offer. He's also been on the board of directors for multi-year stints with AYSO, Madison Softball League, and Madison Baseball Association. So he's no stranger to getting his hands dirty and volunteering. I think he's the perfect fit for the Rec Advisory Board, and he's going to bring energy, insight, opinions, experience, and passion for our youth sports and our parks that will push this board to the next level. So I completely endorse Matt to join this board.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I technically have to ask if there are any other nominations for seat 2. And seeing none, we will accept Mr. Dermody. Hopefully, we will accept Matt into seat 2 on the Rec Advisory Board. Our second appointment is for the Police Advisory Committee for District 7. Mr. Jackson?
Yes, so I believe Mr. Woods is in the back there. So I apologize, I didn't prepare quite as well as Councilmember McKay. I don't have a lot to say about Mr. Woods, but he and I had met and he expressed an interest in serving on this board. So retired military, looking forward to seeing what he brings to that group.
Very good. Any other recommendations? Seeing none, we will appoint Mr. Woods to District 7 for the Police Advisory Board. And thank you, sir, for your service, and our many thanks to Matt as well for his service. We do have one, that concludes boards and committee appointments. We do have one public hearing tonight. Thank you. Good evening.
The Revenue Department has one item for a public hearing this evening. This is resolution number 2025-393-R. This is a request for a restaurant retail liquor license from Chicken Jeep Madison LLC, doing business as Chicken Jeep, for their location at 12120 County Line Road. The reason that this business is applying for a liquor license at this time is because it's a new business in the city of Madison. Everything is in order for this item to be considered, and I believe the business owner is in attendance if you have any questions.
Okay, very good, thank you. We'll open up the public hearing, and the applicant may go first should they wish to address council, and they would have 15 minutes. Other than that, anyone else who would like to address council may have 5 minutes to speak to this particular issue. Is there anyone, and so I open up the public hearing at this time, is there anyone that would like to speak directly to this issue? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Goodson and a second from Mr. Beer. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, may I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Very good, the motion passes. Thank you so much. All right, now we have court, please. Good evening.
I'm presenting resolution number 2025-394-R. This is to replace our current presiding judge upon his retirement and promote Judge Aaron Ryan, who is our associate judge now, into the presiding position, and then appointing Nathan Wake as our associate judge.
Thank you. May I have a motion and a second?
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion for Mr. Goodson and a second for Mrs. Lessman. Is there any discussion? Just want to say thank you both very much, and please extend to Judge Parker our many thanks for his many, many, many years of service. We so appreciate him, and we appreciate you as well. Thank you. May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer. Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
The motion passes. Thank you so much. Now we have engineering.
Okay, first I have resolution number 2025-381R. This is acceptance of RS Madison subdivision into the City of Madison Maintenance Program.
May I have a motion and a second?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion for Mrs. Lessman and a second for Mrs. White. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, may I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Okay, next I have resolution number 2025-388R, authorizing amendment number 1 to contract with Evaldi Engineering on project 25003, Powell and Bergreen intersection improvement for surveying services, $1,200 to be paid from the engineering department budget.
Move to approve.
Okay. I have
I'll
a
second.
motion from Mrs. White and a second for Mr. Goodson. May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Okay, next I have resolution number 2025-389R, authorizing a professional services agreement with TTL on project 26005, Eastview Sidewalk for design services to extend the sidewalk from McAdoo Drive to Mater Lane, $57,100 to be paid from the engineering department budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Jackson and a second from Mr. Beer. Is there any discussion?
I'm excited about this sidewalk.
Yep, very good. All right. May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
The motion passes.
And finally, I have resolution number 2025-399R, authorizing a contractor agreement with Wiregrass for additional inlet concrete work on project 21024, Pump House Road drainage issues, $7,698.96 to be paid from Fund 38.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion for Mr. McKay and a second for Mrs. Lessman. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, may I have the vote, please?
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes. HR?
I am presenting ordinance number 2025-387. It's a first reading, but I am requesting that we suspend the rules and vote for immediate consideration. It is an amendment to policy section 12, the compensation and benefits. What it does is it creates,
Oh, can you move the microphone just a little bit closer to you? There you go.
all right, you want me to start over?
No, I think yeah.
Okay, so it's policy 12, it's compensation and benefits, and so what it does is it provides a new pay scale for our sworn officers. It puts our dispatchers who are on a 12-hour shift, giving them the same differential as our police officers who are on a 12-hour shift. It takes supplemental pay for all of our employees and adds it to their base pay, which will increase their hourly rate and then their overtime rate. And then I'm sorry, there was one other piece. And then it changes our on-call pay from just a flat $20, which it's been forever, to 1 hour of straight non-work pay.
Very good. And the reason we're asking to suspend the rules, or you're asking to suspend the rules, is so that we can get this into the next pay scale or paycheck system as soon as possible.
So
Yes.
if you are able to pass it today, then it'll go into effect on the pay period beginning on the 22nd, which they will see on the 8th of January in that paycheck.
Very good. May I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
And a second?
Second.
So I have a motion from Mrs. Lessman and a second from Mr. Beer. Do we have any questions regarding suspending the rules? Okay, seeing none, we'll have a vote on suspending the rules.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
The motion to suspend the rules passes. Now may I have a motion, please, on the actual ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion for Mr. Goodson and a second from Mr. McKay. Do I have any questions for Kelly regarding this? May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Bear.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes. Thank you so much. All right, planning, please. Oh, I'm sorry. Legal. That's what we're here for, legal. Apologies.
Good evening. I have one item for your consideration. It's Resolution 2025-406R. This resolution authorizes legal action against the Alabama Department of Revenue to challenge the administration of the Simplified Sellers Use Tax, and this is in follow-up to your work session last Wednesday. This resolution has two main functions. The first is to express support for the city of Tuscaloosa in its efforts to change the administration of the SSUT through litigation. And secondly, it authorizes the city of Madison to join in that litigation. And with that, I'll submit this for your consideration and discussion.
Thank you so much. So, I'd like to open up the floor with regard to this subject, and I will say it is unfortunate that we are under a time limit of December 10th, but it is what it is. It's not a movable item. We have no control over this, and so we are taking it up at this time.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Oh, you're right.
Second.
I'm sorry. Yes, so a motion from Mr. Goodson and a second from Mr. Beer. Okay, and then I'll just open up the floor.
We're good.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to say a few things in regard to this, and I've got a script that I want to go off of, so give me a couple minutes, okay? So I greatly appreciate Mayor Maddox and the folks from Tuscaloosa coming up last week for the work session and the executive session, and for the work our folks here in the city went through to make that happen, so thank you. I learned a lot, and the facts presented that evening only reaffirmed that Madison City is being hurt financially in terms of dollars not flowing into our city at the clip they should be. By the way, SSUT is administered in our state. By the way, destination sourcing is handled in Alabama. Who is considered an eligible seller? The list goes on. But the vote we're about to take is clear, whether or not we should enter litigation, a lawsuit with Tuscaloosa against the state of Alabama's Department of Revenue. Here are my reasons and my rationale as to why I will vote the way I will vote. Number one, of course, the more parties that enter this lawsuit provides safety in numbers or political cover to our city. But there is no mistaking that this will be and is a polarizing lawsuit. I do not think Madison should get pulled into a narrative we did not create. Number two, with us being pulled into that narrative, there is a real possibility that this will affect our current and future relationships with other cities and the counties around us. I would prefer not to, just 1 month into this new council administration, to deteriorate relationships that have taken years to forge. Bottom line, there are political repercussions from joining this lawsuit, straining relationships, losing political capital, and potentially affecting our chances for state grants and receiving funding for major priorities down the road. Number 3, right now this lawsuit is against the ADOR commissioner. This does not mean that will necessarily stay that way. More can be heard about from this, from what Mayor Maddox said during the work session. Number 4, suing somebody is not free. It is not cheap, and it involves time, and there is no guaranteed outcome. I'm worried about the direct and indirect cost of this litigation to the Madison taxpayer. Legal fees, staff time, opportunity costs for spending time and effort elsewhere, and there's no way this is going to be resolved soon. We could literally be mired in litigation for our entire terms as council. I prefer to spend my time and effort elsewhere. If this is a layup with a quick resolution, okay, but it is not a layup and there will be no quick resolution. Number 5, I think that the public perception cost is not worth it. For sure, many will love the idea of cities standing up to big government, and that's not a bad thing, I get that. But I'm not sure how I would respond to a constituent that wants an explanation as to why we are devoting time to this and not working on priorities such as infrastructure and parks, which is a segue into my last point, number 6. We've been at this job for a little over a month. In June, I would have graded myself an F on SSUT. Now I grade myself maybe a C+. I've heard from one city that is for the lawsuit, and I've heard from current and former elected officials that are both for and against the lawsuit. I've read more news articles than I care to have read, and I've dove headfirst into the SSUT literature and the specific details of this lawsuit. I personally do not feel that I can make a wise judgment call on whether to enter lengthy litigation at this point in my tenure on council. What if I've been misinformed by someone and I'm basing my opinion on a falsehood? Bottom line, I recognize and acknowledge that Alabama's SSUT is flawed. It truly is. But whether or not we decide to enter litigation does not matter. The lawsuit will continue. There will be an outcome. And frankly, we don't have to spend a dime for the wheels to keep moving. We did not create this narrative. We did not pick this fight. And I don't think we should be involved. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Anyone else?
I'll certainly chime in. I appreciate Councilmember McKay's comments. You know, the idea of SSUT, and I'm going to avoid getting very technical on this as I could, is, as y'all know, my background is finance, accounting, filed sales tax, understand and wholeheartedly agree that the city of Madison suffers from the current structure of SSUT. That being said, so we do I believe we have a loss? I do. As Councilmember McKay said, you look at the paths to go. There is the option to do a lawsuit, to enter into the litigation and join the litigation as a plaintiff. Me personally, I do not feel like that is the way to go. I think we always look at what is the outcome that we're looking for. And in the case of SSUT and sales tax and destination sourcing, it is an incredibly complex issue. It's very easy to sit here and say, we're losing money, but it's not very easy to come up with what the solution is. If you look at many of the articles, the publications, everything out there, the idea of destination sourcing and sales tax and nexus, again, without getting in the weeds, it would really benefit any of the consumers that, when it's delivered direct. But for the state of Alabama to put that on right now is not, in my opinion, isn't something that'll happen. Now, I will say, I spent, as Councilmember McKay said, we're new into this. I did spend a lot of time in the campaign. I knew this was coming up. And in the last 30, 40 days, researching and talking to various representatives, state, local, and county level to say, what is the outcome and what is the solution and path to get there? Do I think things need to change? Yes. Do I think the litigation is the way to go? No. I do think that we can work, and I could be naive, but I do believe this is the way to go, that we could work with our legislators at a state, local, and county level to come up with a viable solution. I don't know what that looks like yet. I do know that there is a destination source model that would help most of the big cities, including us. I know that that would help or hurt tremendous amount of the counties and probably the state, how they allocate revenue. I look for solutions are a win-win-win as much as possible with the local, county, and state governments. So I do hope that we can consider another opinion not to join the lawsuit, but a potential amendment that would support that we are interested in change and interested in a different path, but not necessarily join the litigation.
Thank you, Mr. Beer. Anyone else? Well, I'll just say that I respectfully disagree with Mr. McKay and Mr. Beer. I feel like part of our responsibility that when we're elected is we are to be good stewards of the resources that are given to us by our taxpayers, and that is not currently happening. And there are several other cities. It's not just Tuscaloosa. It's Pelham, Mountain Brook, Foley, Hoover, Alabaster, Mobile, and Huntsville City Schools has also joined in this litigation. I believe Madison City Schools is waiting to see what we do. I believe that we have a responsibility and a relationship with our taxpayers to fight for what is ours. And this legislation was written by a county commissioner. And I think that if we were sitting here and the pendulum was a different way, and the cities, let's say the League of Municipalities, had brought this legislation to the legislators and it was tilted in favor of the cities at the harm of the counties, the county commission would be having the same discussion right now that we are having. So now we're what we want and what we all want, and I think everyone is in agreement with this, is we want what is fair. So right now it's not fair. Yes, is the opportunity exists that we can wait? Absolutely, but we have been told it will not be until the 2027 session. They are all up for election next year. They're going to probably have a very brief legislative session. They are not going to tackle this subject. I personally am not willing to wait 16 months to get the resources that I believe our citizens are paying in to our city, and it is stopping at the county level. I also respectfully disagree with the chance that there could be any retribution. Because again, if the shoe were on the other foot, will we be holding something over our commissioner's head? I don't believe we would. Will we, and I will say Steve Haraway has been a fabulous partner for our city in the 9 years that I have been in office. We have received police cars and firefighting equipment, and the chiefs will echo his praise on how good a partner he has been to us and how supportive he has been to our citizens and our city. I do not see that changing. I do not see any attitude of, I'm going to take my wagon and I'm going to go home. We're going to continue to have this positive relationship. I don't think that we can wait. I do hate that it's December 10th, but it is what it is. And so we need to take action tonight, whether we join in this lawsuit and we get involved and we stand up for our citizens, or we stay on the sidelines and say, you go, best of luck. And I don't feel that that would be what our citizens would want. I think that they would want us to fight for every penny, nickel, and dime that goes to Montgomery for it to come back to the city of Madison.
So, like my two colleagues to either side, David maybe got ahead of Michael and I early with this. I feel like since last week that I'm being, we often comment about being asked to build an airplane while it's in flight. That gets harder when you feel like you're sitting at home and you didn't even get to the airport to get on the plane. However, I lament a system that puts those of us in a position where you have to try to get the best information you can and make a decision based on what you know is going to be incomplete. I spent, and probably frustrated our mayor to some degree, many hours yesterday and over the last several days going from one side of this decision to the other, feeling like on every point I was in the right spot, and then as I would look more and more, it would get uglier from one side and then go to the other. Why is this a problem? And I looked at some numbers. I spent a lot of time yesterday I try to be data-driven, so I spent a lot of time yesterday drawing diagrams, and sorry for the person that I was texting those to, and he was trying to figure out how insane I probably was, but asking his advice on it and his thoughts. In 2018 and 2019, we benefited $460,000 from SSUT. That's a nice amount of money. From 20 to 21, it grew to $1 and $1.5 million. 2022 to 2023, that jumped from $2 to $3.3 million. Last year, it was $3.6 million, and this year it's projected to be $4 million. Those become real numbers extremely quick. I don't know, we talk about living in a very educated community, and I'm going to tell you, my computer is a gateway to the world, and I sit at it quite often, sometimes because I can avoid work by doing it, or doing the harder thing I should have been doing. and I surf the net, and I buy things from places like Amazon, and I buy pizza from DoorDash, or I bought it through DoorDash, but I bought it at Lost Pizza, which is really, when I looked at it, I realized I paid 8% SSUT on that. There's a thing called the DoorDash loophole, and here's what it is. I paid 8% use tax on that pizza, and then I went and picked it up. The loss to this city, I thought at the time, was 1%, that like, hey, it's 8% versus 9%. You know, that's not that big. It actually multiplies. If you saw Mayor Maddox's numbers, it looks to be like it's a huge loss. It is. I don't know that in Madison it's as big, but let's just say it's more than just what the 50 or 60 cents may have looked like. Those are where we think that we are today. This was based on some work that David from our finance department did that said he thinks we're losing about 2.1 as a conservative number. Those are real numbers when you talk about what that money provides, the ability for us to do in services and infrastructure within this city. I would love to sit on the sidelines on this one to some degree, but I, kind of like Mara expressed, feel like we have a commitment to our citizens to fight for every dollar. Do I want a judge ultimately to make this decision? Absolutely not. I don't think judges, pardon my expression to our two judges that are sitting here, are always the best people to make decisions. Lawsuits sometimes put them in those difficult positions. My hope is that we will end up with kind of a solution that forces the negotiators to sit at the table and work out a solution that benefits everyone. We all can't win big, but we all shouldn't lose at the same time. So my problem is I live by a thing that says you follow the money. Right now, the bulk of the money from this use tax is going to the counties and the state. Actually, the county gets 2%, I believe, under this, where our county sales tax is 1%. The state's getting their 4%. The oddity in that is that normally in sales tax, the education trust fund gets the bulk of that. In this case, the general fund gets the bulk of the money, and the education trust fund gets 1% of that money. But that's a larger issue, and I don't want to open that can up. What I will say is, if you are benefiting from something, you have far less of an appetite to make a change to that system. Many of our legislators have said we plan to address this in 2027. I offer that in 2027, there will be a higher priority thing that will push this, unfortunately, down a little bit, and something else will get a resolution, because there are some big problems that our state is looking at. If you listen to the news, you've heard them talked about. So this will fall a little bit below that line, and it will continue to be pushed. My hope is that the lawsuit will keep this top of mind to those legislators, and it will encourage people to not let a judge come to a decision, but to let our legislature do their job, which I think they all want to do. I believe this lawsuit actually maybe motivates them to do that. So because of that, I tend to fall on the other side. If you ask me about this tomorrow, I probably will be back on the other side of this, because this is a difficult position that puts us somewhere. But every time I go through this, and I've gone through it every day since last Friday, in spite of the fun that I had about Christmas, I always come back to, we have to go after the money. Otherwise, we just lose that opportunity. I lament a fact that some legislators have said that this is municipalities making a money grab. There's a lot of language that isn't helpful. I'm going to try to avoid making any of that myself. But to say, I believe that we can work out solutions that benefit everybody. I do. My job is to worry about Madison, but I come from small-town Alabama, and I worry about little places like Newton, Alabama, and Eva, Alabama. I don't want them hurt, and that's why I think if our legislators sit down, they'll come up with a solution that works, and all of them will benefit. And I just think we have to go after this from a standpoint today to try to protect ourselves and get a seat at the table when those negotiations happen as to what is going on. If you sit on the sidelines, you may end up with a solution that benefits Tuscaloosa, but Tuscaloosa is not Madison, Alabama. So I think we need to be involved from a standpoint that hopefully we can at least be in the car when those discussions happen. And I appreciate what John says, that Drew doesn't get to drive the car, but Drew gets a vote in the restaurant that they go eat at. And I hope that we get something like that as well, at least. Is that going to prove out? I don't know. We'll see. The only thing that encourages me is that we do have a possibility that if this is not going the way we like, we get off the boat. The problem is we may not be able to, if we don't get on now, the boat will have left the port, and unfortunately, the shark-infested waters won't let us swim to it later. So I feel like we have to be involved at this point. I totally respect and the position of Michael and David. It pains me to sit here and take a position that's contrary to theirs, but I feel like I have to do that on my own conscience, and I appreciate their expressing of their own conscience and their opinions and viewpoints. Appreciate that, guys.
Thank you.
Sorry, I probably droned on.
No, it's good.
All right, I have a prepared statement that I'd like to make sure is on the record. As we consider the questions raised by the SSUT litigation, I think it's important to step back and look at the underlying issue. Whether Madison is receiving a fair share of the online sales tax revenue generated by our own residents. Madison is one of the fastest growing cities in Alabama. With that growth comes increased demand on police and fire services, roads and infrastructure, parks and recreation, and on the support we provide to our schools. These are real needs, and they continue to grow year after year. I also want to acknowledge that we are fortunate enough to have strong support from Madison County. The county invests in our roads, schools, and shared infrastructure, and their partnership is an important part of our overall success as a region. But even with that support, the city still has significant obligations and service demands that fall squarely on municipal resources. At the same time, our residents, particularly younger adults who tend to be the most frequent online shoppers, are generating a significant and increasing amount of online sales tax. Yet under the current SSUT structure, only a portion of that revenue actually returns to the community where those purchases are delivered and where those taxpayers live. The question before us is whether the existing framework aligns with the realities of modern commerce and with the needs of rapidly growing cities like Madison. Right now, SSUT treats major online retailers the same, regardless of whether they have brick-and-mortar locations, distribution centers, or delivery operations in Alabama. That has real financial implications for communities that are absorbing the impacts of growth, but receiving only a fraction of the revenue generated here. For nearly 8 years, municipalities across Alabama have asked the legislature for updates to this system, updates that will reflect today's economy and ensure that local services are properly supported. Those efforts have not resulted in meaningful change. The current litigation raises important questions about fairness, constitutionality, and whether tax systems should reflect where economic activity actually occurs. It also raises questions about long-term fiscal sustainability for cities like ours, where online commerce is only expected to increase. As we evaluate our options, I think it's essential that we consider what is fair for our residents, what is sustainable for our city, and what ensures that the taxes paid by Madison households meaningfully support the services those households rely on every day, even as we continue to work collaboratively with our county partners. And I just want to say thank you. This is difficult, guys. We're new. Mm-hmm. We're not even 2 months old here, to make a decision like this. And I know several of us knew about this during the campaign. We did a lot of research on it on our own. We read articles. Some of us wrote articles, wrote posts about it, So this is something that's been top of mind. It's not an easy decision to make. And I appreciate y'all. And thank you for all of the residents who reached out with their opinions also. We appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Yes, thank you.
I have to agree with you, Erica, and Billy, I was going back and forth, and I probably drove our mayor crazy too. Because I was set, I had my mind, and you have time to think about it. It's very quick, it feels. But when we were elected, our obligation, we are here to take care of our taxpayers' dollars. It's not anybody else's money. And we are here to take care of the city of Madison and the state of Alabama, because you're definitely right, we need some negotiation. That doesn't appear to have happened. And, I came in here thinking one thing, and then I quickly, and again, we're only human, and we can only do what we think, with the information that we have and what we know and what we think is right. So I think we should enter this.
No, nothing? Okay.
If you don't mind, I'd like to just add a few comments in I guess almost rebuttal, if you will. But I do think the comment about time, 16-month, a lawsuit is going to take a significant amount of time. So entering into a lawsuit doesn't mean we solve this sooner. Could be we solve it much longer, because lawsuits take a tremendous amount of time. In regards to being an active participant, it is. We are elected and engaged, hired to do a job that is to make an impact for our city and our state. You can do that by joining the lawsuit. You can join it by supporting the theory of the lawsuit, and you can also do it by lobbying for change. Do I think change needs to happen? Absolutely. Do I think it is going to happen? Now, the last 8 years, it has not. And I think, without a doubt, if you talk to most people in legislature, there's it's not going to change. What's changed now, though? There is a lawsuit, threat of lawsuit. There is a strong desire to change. There is a strong desire to get something out there. I think this fundamentally comes down to a question of what outcome do we want? Do we want destination-sourced tax base? Again, Tennessee, 30-plus states have that. That is a true sales tax base. Right now, Alabama is nowhere close to being able to do that. Now, could it be? Absolutely. But what I would tell you is those that say, hey, it's easy, there's software out there. That doesn't work for business owners. If you filed sales tax return in a number of municipalities, it doesn't work. So it is that source, that outcome, I think is 3 to 40 years away at best. So what is the other outcome that you might want? It is maybe a change to the SSUT platform. Is it a change in allocation? Is it a change in rate? Is it an equalization of rates? When I look at, Mr. Goodson, your comment too as well about we don't want certain counties and areas to be hurt, 100% counties and small cities will absolutely be hurt across the state. Now, our responsibility is to the city of Madison, but the city of Madison benefits from the strength of our community and the strength of our state. When we look at the number of businesses that seek to incorporate and be here, it's not always in Madison. It's in Huntsville. It's in Athens. It's in Limestone County. All of those benefit when all of us do well. So I don't know that I take the position that we're sitting on the sideline, we're not doing change, this is going to happen quicker. I think it's ultimately a question of, do you want destination source sales tax or do you want a modified version of use tax? Again, now fundamentally, as a business person, I don't ever want to get into a lawsuit until I've tried everything we can. I could tell you that what I would do is continue to do what I've been doing for the last month, reaching out to legislators, local, county, state, and saying, what can we do to change? I do firmly believe they will have a change. Again, could be naive, but I do think that would happen.
Thank you.
Along those lines, though, haven't Big Ten mayors and council members from Madison been in negotiations and there hasn't been much progress?
I can't speak to Big Ten mayors. I know that this, in terms of what they've done or not done, I do know there's a lot of Big Ten mayors not joining the suit, right? City of Huntsville is not joining the suit. The City of Huntsville, more than anybody on destination-sourced sales tax, would win more than anybody in the state. So I would ask, why are they not joining the suit, right? I do think that joining a suit and then later backing out is also not advantageous. Once you join, that damage is done. Now, what I would also say is it's not that there's going to be a grudge. They're not going to hold Steve Haraway, Commissioner Haraway, is not going to say, well, I'm not going to fund you this now. But he is going to have a decrease in revenue. If we go destination source, there will be a decrease in revenue to the counties, which means he wouldn't be able to support. Now, again, would Madison benefit on destination sourcing? I think so. I do think so. But again, At what expense? So that would be my point on that.
But the net that Madison would gain would be more than the loss from the county appropriations.
I think I would argue that any time, and again, I think a lot of folks may disagree with me here, is that we do what's best for Madison as it relates also to the greater community. If we just say Madison's going to be great and perfect, but the area around us does not do well, we will suffer. And I think trying to make the decision in a vacuum like that could lead to an outcome like such. Now, clearly, I think I may be in the majority. I had proposed an amendment that we would support the lawsuit without joining it. I think based on what counsel has said here, that's probably not going to move, but I will throw it out there as a last-ditch effort. I'll make a motion for that amendment.
And I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion in regard to the motion?
Could we have a clear statement of what the amendment is?
So the amendment is the idea that we do believe, if we look at the resolution that was printed in front of us, that you go through the entire resolution, the bullet before the last is that the city of Madison feels that the lawsuit has some merit, and they support it, but they will not join it. So it's getting the potential benefits without actually joining the lawsuit.
Megan, is this what Decatur did this afternoon?
Yes.
Yeah. So Decatur did this afternoon. They're not joining litigation, but they're supporting the lawsuit in that way. And Huntsville has not joined a lawsuit, right?
Correct.
Athens hasn't either?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Do we know which cities have joined it
I
at
know
this point?
for sure, City of Montgomery, City of Tuscaloosa, Tuscaloosa School System, City of Mountain Brook, and the Alabama Education Association.
Right, those are the only ones I'm
Mobile
aware
as
of.
well
Mobile
joined today.
Also, yes. Others could have filed today, but that's a brief rundown.
They mentioned Foley, Hoover, Alabaster, and Mountain Brook schools as well.
Not sure if those decisions have been
Oh,
formally
okay.
made.
Okay. Before we do vote, Mayor, would you like to weigh in at this time?
Well, first of all, I just want to compliment all of you in terms of how thoughtful you have approached this issue. And this timing is less than ideal. I don't think anybody would have wished this upon us. And had I had any inkling the judge would have set a deadline to join and participate, I would have tried to get this before you at our very first work session, but we didn't find out about this until right before Thanksgiving. And so we are in the situation we are in, not by our making. You're absolutely right. And I'm so grateful that all of you have recognized that our county commissioner, Steve Haraway, is the best friend Madison has ever had. He is constantly looking for ways to support our schools, our city. We could not have better partners than we do with him and our commission chair, Mac McCutcheon. All of us want to see this improve. And I come down to this, and I want to share a couple of things with you. A Madison taxpayer has a right to expect to benefit from the taxes they pay. The current way SSUT law is being applied by ADOR diverts Madison tax dollars to other parts of the state. Now, I believe in the wisdom of this collective body. And I'm glad you've finally been able to sit down and hear each other in your thoughts. And each of you have equally valid observations and thoughts. And whether you decide to join this lawsuit or not, I am committed to advocating on this issue for the Madison taxpayer. Every time I read an article about this topic, it frustrates me that these articles and those who are involved talk about this issue in terms of it's city money, it's county money, it's state money. No, it's your money. You're paying it every time you shop. And so your awareness, council, of this issue is a win for Madison. I have never seen this body be so in tune, so educated I couldn't be more proud of each one of you here that I get to work with. And I was happy to field every call, every email, every text, because you are so trying to do what is right, and I admire you for it. I am confident that regardless of the outcome of this vote tonight, Madison will remain a strong voice on this issue. But when I hear discussions about repercussion or retaliation, that only strengthens my resolve to fight for Madison. So it's okay tonight for you to have a split vote. You're not always going to be unanimous. Get used to it. You should always vote for what you think is right. And I know you're going to do that. And I will support this council with whatever conclusion you reach.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
said.
you so much, Mayor. Appreciate that. So at this time, any other comments or questions before we vote on the amendment?
Megan, would you mind reading the amendment?
The amendment simply would amend the current resolution by changing the title to express support for the city of Tuscaloosa's efforts to ensure that SSUT tax dollars are fairly distributed, and it deletes the paragraph that allows the city to join the litigation.
Thank you.
Okay. And I believe the motion was made by Mr. Goodson and the second by Mr. McKay. Is that right? No?
Mr. Beer.
Okay. Mr. Beer and then
Mr. McKay.
Mr. McKay. Okay. All right. Any other?
I think just to be clear, so y'all know how this works. Whenever an amendment is made, of course, you have to address the amendment before you can address the underlying resolution as it was published in the agenda. So you would first vote on the amendment. You're voting to take out basically the last paragraph of the resolution. And if you need to see a copy, I have a copy of that. And that's an up or down vote, a majority vote. If it succeeds, then you vote on the resolution as amended. So you're just voting to amend. If it fails, then the other resolution as published becomes the topic of the vote. Everybody good?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Goodson,
No, I'm sorry. It starts with Mr. Beer and then it goes to Mr. McKay. I actually had Mr. Goodson.
I think he made the motion on the original amendment, and then I seconded
okay,
the original
gotcha.
resolution.
Okay, I
seconded.
see. Okay.
So the amendment was
So
offered.
the amendment, we go with Mr. Beer, then Mr. McKay. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. That's correct.
Councilmember Beer,
Aye.
Councilmember McKay,
Aye.
Council President Robleski,
Nay.
Councilmember Goodson,
Nay.
Councilmember Lessman,
Nay.
Councilmember White,
Nay.
Councilmember Jackson.
Nay.
The motion for the amendment fails. Now we vote for the resolution as
We
written.
moved back to the question, but the vote has not been called technically,
Okay,
correct?
correct. So now it goes to, you made the original motion, right, Billy?
Yes.
Correct.
And
But do
then
we have any
Michael
more
made the
discussion?
second. Oh,
You could actually, someone could offer another amendment, but I'm not going to do that.
okay. Christmas is coming. Okay, so right now we have the original resolution, the motion by Billy, and the second by Mr. McKay. Correct? Any discussion before we, is that right?
Yep.
I think that's what I have,
Billy
right?
and then myself.
Beer.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm trying to throw you
That's
in,
okay.
Michael. Okay, so Mr. Goodson, then Mr. Beer.
That's correct.
Motion and second. Any discussion before we have?
I'll make one last comment, and
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
going to pitch again, but I do want to thank Mayor Bartlett for you filling the questions and your statements. And I do think what's important that everybody understands, council, again, we do our best to understand these situations. We discuss it, we debate it. In a lot of cases, we can only do that in an open forum, which is the case here. When a decision is made, though, a decision is made, and you're going to see a united council. Just like in any business, any team, we may disagree, we may have a split vote, but once we're done, we're moving forward together. So I think it's important to make that comment. Thank you.
I agree with you, David. So
Yeah.
what's frustrating to me is the visibility and transparency and accountability of ADOR, honestly. Because I asked them questions at the work session about how we cannot get more information out of them. And I think that's Tuscaloosa's frustration too. As an auditor, that infuriates me that we don't have more information to be armed with this decision. But, on board with whatever we decide tonight, so.
And to explain that, ADOR is the Alabama Department of Revenue, and we have reached out to them to find out exactly how much money we're losing, and they have not given us that information. So just to explain a little bit more that people might not know the acronym, so very good. All right, thank you very much. I really appreciate you saying that. Any other discussion? All right.
Move the question?
What was the question?
No, move the question.
Oh, I
Let's
thought you
vote.
said, what was the question? Okay, may I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Nay.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Nay.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
All right, very good, thank you. The motion passes. Thank you so much, Megan, and thank you also for being so willing to answer questions and texts and things like that and leading us through this decision-making. Very much appreciate that. All right, now planning.
Aren't you glad you got to follow that?
Hopefully this is easier for you all. We have proposed ordinance number 2025-375. This is a request for vacation of utility and drainage easement at 170 Rainbow Glen Circle. You can see the diagram on the screen, and there is a significant amount of this. The rear property is in floodplain easement. The applicant is requesting to vacate about 16 feet of a 40-foot deep easement on the rear yard and a portion on their side, primarily to accommodate a gazebo that was built within the easement area. All of the utilities and staff have approved and are signed off on this. The applicants also received a variance from the Zoning Board of Adjustment and Appeals for encroachment of the gazebo into the setback, and that occurred in November. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
May I have a motion and a second?
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion for Mrs. White and a second for Mrs. Lessman. Are there any questions?
No, ma'am, I saw first reading and I didn't pay attention to there being a date behind it. This is
Oh, okay.
not the first reading, so.
Right,
we're
we've
voting.
heard this before, yes, sir. Thank you.
I just want to add, I apologize, you might have just said this, but I noted in the, I don't remember if it was the ZBA, I think the ZBA meeting minutes, it mentioned that the city and the utilities both were in favor of.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Very good,
That's the staff part, is all of the utilities, yes.
very good. Any other questions or comments? All right. May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes. Thank you, ma'am. Chief Gandy?
First off, on behalf of the sworn men and women of the department, thank you for your earlier vote.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief.
Resolution number 2025-395R, and this is authorizing a property use agreement with SRI America. I think we called that the old Dunlop track right there on the outside of the city for police emergency driver training, and it's at no cost to our city.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion for Mr. Jackson, and a second for Mr. Beer. Any questions for Chief? May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember Jackson.
Aye.
Councilmember Beer.
Aye.
Council President Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson.
Aye.
Councilmember McKay.
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes. Thank you so much, Chief. Recreation.
Good evening. I have 3 items for your consideration. The first one is Resolution 2025-406R, 400-R authorizing a professional services agreement with Sharon Rivers Officiating for revision to a fee schedule for providing officials for our youth volleyball and basketball programs. She's pretty much the only show in town for that service, so we're pretty dependent on it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. McKay and a second from Mrs. White. Any discussion? May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember McKay?
Aye.
Councilmember White?
Aye.
Council President Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Beer?
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson?
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman?
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Second item is Resolution 2025-401-R, authorizing a professional service agreement with Lydia Devaney and Linda Wiley for line dancing instruction services for the Park and Recreation Department.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. McKay and a second from Mr. Goodson, and I just want to say, sounds like so much fun. Any discussion? May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember McKay?
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson?
Aye.
Council President Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Beer?
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman?
Aye.
Councilmember White?
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Last item is Resolution 2025-402-R, authorizing professional services agreement with Tiffany Tucker for woodworking instructor with the Parks and Recreation Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion from Mrs. White and a second from Mr. Beer. Any discussion? May I have the vote, please?
Councilmember White?
Aye.
Councilmember Beer?
Aye.
Council President Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Goodson?
Aye.
Councilmember McKay?
Aye.
Councilmember Lessman?
Aye.
Councilmember Jackson?
Aye.
The motion passes. Thank you, sir. Do we have any missile?
Hey,
Oh, wait,
Corey.
Corey, before you go.
I want to really say a big thanks to all at Parks and Recs, and I know Public Works is another group that does a lot, but you guys, I think, put all the trees up and all of that, and for your crew doing that. You guys rock.
Really great.
So please pass on our thanks to them.
Yes.
We had, just so people know, I think it was 80 trees this year.
Wow.
We're going to have to calm Debbie down. I don't think we can find that many trees.
Yeah.
Just deforesting parts of America. Yeah.
While I'm up here, I just wanted to mention Lowe's donated half of those.
Nice.
Shout out to them.
Thank you.
Very much appreciate Lowe's. And the city council actually has a tree. Many thanks to the Goodson and Jackson and White family, everyone that helped support that. So thank you for bringing Christmas to Madison. Any announcements? What's our work session? Are we going to have one the 17th before our next council meeting, or we're not quite sure?
We have it on hold right now,
Okay.
so we're not sure.
Okay, we'll have a placeholder. Okay, keep a placeholder for December 17th. Any other announcements from anyone? May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We are adjourned. Thank you all so much. Have a good evening.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. It was a duplicate.